Hello, and welcome to the Field Instructor's Orientation Module 5, the Learning Plan. The objectives for this module include reviewing the 9 competencies identified by the CSWE and the purpose of those competencies, listing tasks that demonstrate skill within the competencies, and developing competency tasks for the learning plan which are setting-specific and demonstrate skill. In 2015, the Council on Social Work Education adopted a competency-based education framework focused on student learning outcomes, which identifies and assesses what students demonstrate in practice. The basis for the assessment is the student's ability to demonstrate the 9 core competencies, which exemplify professional social work skills, values, knowledge base, and cognitive and affective processes. The learning plan and evaluation is the tool used to list specific learning objectives and then assess the student's skill at meeting those objectives. Before we take an in-depth look at what each competency entails, let's take a brief look at what each competency is. Competency 1. Demonstrate ethical and professional behavior. Competency 2. Engage diversity and difference in practice. Competency 3. Advance human rights and social, economic, and environmental justice. Competency 4. Engage in practice-informed research and research-informed practice. Competency 5. Engage in policy practice. Competency 6. Engage with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. Competency 7. Assess individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. Competency 8. Intervene with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. Competency 9. Evaluate practice with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. Competency 1. Demonstrating ethical and professional behavior. The associated skills include making ethical decisions by applying the standards of the NSAW Code of Ethics, relevant laws and regulations, models for ethical decision-making, ethical conduct of research, and additional codes of ethics as appropriate to context. Using reflection and self-regulation to manage personal values and maintain professionalism in practice situations, demonstrating professional demeanor in behavior, appearance, and oral, written, and electronic communication, using technology ethically and appropriately to facilitate practice outcomes, and using supervision and consultation to guide professional judgment and behavior. Competency 2. Engaging diversity and difference in practice. The associated skills include applying and communicating understanding of the importance of diversity and difference in shaping life experiences in practice at the micro, meso, and macro levels, presenting themselves as learners and engaging clients and constituencies as experts of their own experiences, and applying self-awareness and self-regulation to manage the influence of personal biases and values in working with diverse clients and constituencies. Competency 3 is advancing human rights and social, economic, and environmental justice. The associated skills include applying their understanding of social, economic, and environmental justice to advocate for human rights at the individual and system levels, and engaging in practices that advance social, economic, and environmental justice. Competency 4 is engaging in practice-informed research and research-informed practice. The associated skills include using practice experience and theory to inform scientific inquiry and research, applying critical thinking to engage in analysis of quantitative and qualitative research methods and research findings, and using and translating research evidence to inform and improve practice, policy, and service delivery. Competency 5 is engaging in policy practice. The associated skills include identifying social policy at the local, state, and federal level that impacts well-being, service delivery, and access to social services, assessing how social welfare and economic policies impact the delivery of and access to social services, and applying critical thinking to analyze, formulate, and advocate for policies that advance human rights and social, economic, and environmental justice. Competency 6 is engaging with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. The associated skills include applying knowledge of human behavior and the social environment, person and environment, and other multidisciplinary theoretical frameworks to engage with clients and constituencies, and using empathy, reflection, and interpersonal skills to effectively engage diverse clients and constituencies. Competency 7 is assessing individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. The associated skills include collecting and organizing data and applying critical thinking to interpret information from clients and constituencies, applying knowledge of human behavior and the social environment, person and environment, and other multidisciplinary theoretical frameworks in the analysis of assessment data from clients and constituencies, developing mutually agreed on intervention goals and objectives based on the critical assessment of strengths, needs, and challenges within clients and constituencies, and selecting appropriate intervention strategies based on the assessment, research knowledge, and values and preferences of clients and constituencies. Competency 8 is intervening with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. The associated skills include critically choosing and implementing interventions to achieve practice goals and enhancing capacities of clients and constituencies, applying knowledge of human behavior and the social environment, person and environment, and other multidisciplinary theoretical frameworks and interventions with clients and constituencies, using interprofessional collaboration as appropriate to achieve beneficial practice outcomes, negotiate, mediate, and advocate with and on behalf of diverse clients and constituencies, and facilitating effective transitions and endings that advance mutually agreed on goals. Competency 9 is evaluating practice with individuals, families, groups, organizations, and communities. The associated skills include selecting and using appropriate methods for evaluation of outcomes, applying knowledge of human behavior and the social environment, person and environment, and other multidisciplinary theoretical frameworks in the evaluation of outcomes, critically analyzing, monitoring, and evaluating intervention and program processes and outcomes, and applying evaluation findings to improve practice effectiveness at the micro, meso, and macro levels. Let's take a look at a sample Field 1 learning plan which uses program-identified tasks that reflect the tasks identified by the CSWE as encompassing the competencies. The following slides represent the competencies as listed on the learning plan. The first column heading names the competency, and the column body names the specific task expected to be demonstrated. The second column heading gives instructions for developing the competency task, and the body of the column is where the developed task is listed. By answering in sentence form, what will you do, with whom will you do it, and how long will you do it, you've not only made clear how the skill will be demonstrated, but you have also added a component of measurability. The last column is for rating the student's level of skill demonstration for each of the tasks. The ratings range from 1 to 5, with 1 indicating that the student demonstrated insufficient evidence to rate their skill, and 5 indicating mastery of the skill. Listed in red are sample learning tasks, which encompass the program-identified task for each one of the competencies as well as the method of evaluation. Please take a moment to look at sample learning tasks for competencies 2 through 9. You may pause the video on any slide for which you would like to take a closer look. Practicum settings vary greatly, as do opportunities for learning in any given setting. All of the competencies can be demonstrated in any professional social work setting, and competency tasks should reflect the field agency population served, services offered, tools such as assessments used by the agency, or agency-specific policies. Congratulations, you've completed Module 5. Thank you for your time and attention. Should you have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact the Director of Field Education, Dr. Leanne Howe. Her email is leanne.howe@brusha.edu, and her phone number is 270-686-4262.